Hello, my name is Alexis Barone, and this is my weekly two reflection um, over technology transfer and two technologies that I found that we were supposed to go over are of course glasses, helped improve eyesight by Sal Salvino, I assume, I think. And also another technology that I found were clippers. Clippers help cut nails, of course. Um, Helped a better lifestyle for men, of course, to keep long nails out of the way and um, be hand free and able to do things with, of course, without long nails. Um, Glasses being dated back to the 13th century, and nail clippers being dated back to 1875, I think. So yeah, those have been around for quite a while now. I'm going back to my reflection. First thing and foremost, we went over technology transfer, which was kind of the main thing. It's like a product that we've created, and um, we end up using it in a different location where it's more useful or can be better used. Some elements with that is like what is being transferred, what is being transferred specifically, and who is transferring it to that certain location, and sort of the type of technology that can be sent over there and what it can do to impact that society in a different location. So that's sort of what technology transfer is about. Um, some some investment works with technology transfer. Um, it goes overseas at times. Um, it tries to avoid higher labor costs as well, and which we are able to import or export um, different texts that have been created, and what we can do to improve the culture, to help improve cultures and other things like that. Um, Coming with that, we also discussed what Turkey Plant is. Is basically the creator of a product, or it's not sort of a product. It's more of the business or the operation in which the product is being created at, and it also it initiates the product process. With that being, is also involves licensing agreements as well. Um, Usually, the purchaser of the license operation normally pays for most of the royalties, and and the party or parties who have ownership of the technology and demand. That's sort of what licensing agreement is. We've also discussed appropriate technology, in which that involves and that involves the needs of local communities and stuff like that, and what they will be used without, and what they can use without um, um, affecting other local populations. Um, Trying to think of what else we've learned. Reverse engineering we've discussed also. Um, sort of where you take, let's say for instance, an engine, and pull it apart and let's say you are trying to create new pistons in order for the engine to run smoother, um, trying to waste less gas as well, um, and sort of taking that part and engineering it into a better form, and then putting it back together with the engine and seeing how it works, and that's what reverse engineering is. And um, as we discussed during class, it can work with many other things, not other than engines, of course. It can be AC units or what else? Fridges, stoves, things like that, and it helps. It's taking it apart and seeing what we can do to make it better, and that's what that is. And, sort of a thing that I remembered of. We've also discussed imitation and demand lag. Um, imitation, um, imitation is sort of a nation which is like slow at developing their own counterparts, but they eventually get it down, of course. And demand lag, um, sort of when a nation has no interest or doesn't accept to import other technologies from other nations as well. Those are those two things. Some other things I've wrote down. Let me see. We have also discussed entrepreneurial science. That's, if I recall, it's sort of when universities do research in laboratories or labs, and they sort of go through between basic and applied researches, such as a commercial opportunity emerges. And that's another thing I've had written down in some notes. We also went over informal channels for technology transfer, which involves extensive contact between governments, and it's a sort of an establishment of domestic training and educational programs. That's another thing we went over. Something else that I remember. We also had 5 industries that are identified by the OECD as high technology, and those are aerospace, computers, office machinery, electronic communications, and pharmaceuticals. And those are some of the industries that were identified by OECD as higher technologies that we encounter today. We also have had situations, of course, like World War I, where technology transfers can sometimes be bad, in which we did have planes at the time, and as Japan didn't use them, they figured that since we used planes against them, and they eventually got that technology transfer sent to over them, they used it against us eventually, and in World War II, they eventually got the hang and wrote down um, that technology transfer and used it against us, eventually causing World War II. And yeah, that's another thing that I thought was pretty interesting. Other than that, that's all I have for my week 2 reflection. Thanks for listening. Bye.